It's the final weekend of the 9th season of competition for the F4 United States Championship, and we're here at Circuit of the Americas, part of the COTA SpeedTour. We've got 8 drivers on the starting grid, and 2 of them are making their very first start with us. Let's introduce them to you. On the outside of row 4 is car number 08, a debutante. That's Seth Gilmore from Stanswell Top, Australia for Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport. Alongside him, car number 54, Lincoln Day from Wilson, Wyoming, one of the drivers from the MLT Motorsports stable. Outside of row 3, car 13, Barrett Wolf from Las Vegas, Nevada for Crosslink Kiwi. Alongside him is the number 46 of Connor Roberts from LaGrange, Georgia for Team Roberts Racing. In row 2 on the outside is the man second in the points by 5.5 markers. That's the 24 of Daniel Quimby from Sydney, Australia for the Atlantic Racing Team. Alongside him is the points leader, the number 15, Nicolas Stati from Dalkeith, Australia for Crosslink Kiwi. On the front row, on the outside, the number 41 of Alex Crosbie from Invercargill, New Zealand for Crosslink Kiwi. And the pole sitter is a debutante, second-generation racer Alex Popov from Weston, Florida in the number 55. He also races for MLT Motorsports. That's your starting grid. The cars make their way toward the green flag, and there it is, and we are away. And our pole sitter, Popov, with the advantage. Down the inside is the 15 of the points leader, Nicolas Stati, as he tries to make the dive, but Popov is able to round him off around the outside. The 41 of Alex Crosbie gets a good start. Going to try to slot up into that third spot, perhaps. Looks like he might fall back. Daniel Quimby, the Atlantic Racing driver, who is second in the points, drops all the way to the back after taking a rather conservative run through that crowded activity into turn number 1 as they enter the S's for the first time. And already Alex Popov with a bit of a lead. We ride with Alex Crosbie as they make their way through this fantastic portion of the racetrack called the S's as they begin the uphill climb through turn 8 and then 9. And then at the top of the hill, they plunge back down toward turn 11. As we ride with Connor Roberts now, that's Nicolas Stati just in front of him as Roberts goes side by side into the hairpin, but a little later on the brakes is Nicolas Stati, and he'll take the lead as they head off of that hairpin onto the long back straightaway, leading to the best passing opportunity on this racetrack. The cars making their way down toward turn number 12. Alex Popov riding right in the middle of the road and then moves over to take the regular racing line. And then it's side-by-side racing between Roberts and Stati. Stati just a little defensive, and he goes way wide as Roberts and Daniel Quimby try to make up ground. Behind them, side-by-side, the 13 of Barrett Wolf and the 24 of Daniel Quimby. We ride with Lincoln Day as he sees those drivers in front of him as they head through turn 14 down into turn 15 for the first time. Around the outside goes Lincoln Day, but not able to close the deal. There's a good shot of our leader, the 55 of Alex Popov, second-generation racer, his father, multiple champion in IMSA competition. And he's here this weekend cheering on his son Alex as he heads into turn 20 to complete the first racing lap. Popov with a big lead already, then Stati, then Connor Roberts, then Alex Crosbie. Daniel Quimby leading that 4-car train just a little further back. Right behind him is Barrett Wolf. Then the 08 of Seth Gilmore, the other debutante in the field, with Lincoln Day bringing up the rear. Lincoln Day thinks about going side by side and does so down to the inside as they make the run up the hill. And Lincoln Day up one spot, but Seth Gilmore is still there as the driver from Australia, hanging tough, but looks like Lincoln Day's made that pass stick. Meanwhile, Popov draws away at the front, leaving this great battle between Nicolas Stati and Connor Roberts for second and third as they work their way through the S's. Up the hill to turn number 10. Roberts got side by side with Stati a lap ago down into this braking zone. Let's see if he can do it again. He pulls out, but then decides to fall back in single file. Both clipping the apex nicely right out to the edge of the track, up over the gator's teeth, and down the back straightaway they come. The sun low in the sky. This is late in the day here in this first day of racing. as that will be a visibility issue for these drivers as this race wears on. Once again, Stati being a little defensive. And down to the inside goes Connor Roberts. Again, not quite able to make it stick. Stati staying inside track limits this time by, as Alex Crosbie dropping off the back of that battle just a little bit, as this battle for second is easily the best one on the racetrack right now. Connor Roberts dives to the inside down into turn 15. Can't quite make it stick. Stati goes wide once again, comes back on track as they enter this long sweeping right-hander, quadruple apex, 16, 17, and 18. As they head down into turn 19, the penultimate corner on the racetrack. It's very easy to go wide here, and again, the sun will be low in the sky and creating visibility issues for these drivers as the race wears on. A 30-minute timed race, no change in the top four. Looking at the battle for second spot, Nicolas Stati in the 15, the 46 is Connor Roberts. As we follow them through turn number 1, both of them right out to the edge of the track. Alex Crosbie, a little tidier line. Let's see if that gives him a little better run down the hill and into the S's. This new Ligier JS F4 50% more aerodynamically efficient than the first generation F4 car that it replaced this season. Car really in its element through this section of the racetrack. As they clip the hill there at turn 7 up to turn 8. Roberts gets a great run through this section of racetrack. He's right on the gearbox of Nicolas Stati. And once again, a little closer than he was a lap ago. Let's see if Roberts is going to make the move. He dives to the inside, a bit of a braking duel down into turn 11. They both hit the brakes at about the same time. Roberts with the inside line. Has to chase the car just a little bit as he had to pinch the exit. And now they're side by side in this run down the back straightaway as Alex Popoff trying to get away up at the front. Side by side over to the edge of the track. Heavy on the brakes. Stati still with the advantage. Roberts will try to do the over-under here. He'll dive to the inside as they approach turn 13. Stati has to give him room. Once again, Roberts a little tail happy as he tries to get the power down. Still giving Stati racing room to his inside as they dive into turn 15. And once again, almost a replay of what we saw a lap ago. Roberts trying to take advantage of the over-under, but can't quite seal the deal. But it's early days. Lots of racing left to go. As this battle continues down into turn 19. Into the final turn, onto the front straightaway. As Popoff stretches his lead at the front, and then now a three-way battle as Alex Crosbie has joined this battle for second spot. Only maybe an extra car length behind the 46 of Connor Roberts. Roberts dives to the inside. Stati just maintains his racing line. Will give him a little better exit down the hill toward turn 2. As Daniel Quimby tries to make up the ground between them as we ride with Alex Crosbie, the fourth place runner now. Watching that battle in front of him turn into a three-way battle for second step on the podium. Stati using up all the racetrack and then some at the lead of this trio. And they climb the hill and clip the apex there at turn number 9. As the track drops away under the pedestrian bridge. And you can see the track widens out here, making it very inviting to try to dive down to the inside and make a pass in this very important turn 11. Crosbie not able to close the advantage. Let's see if he can pick up a little double draft from those two cars in front of him. And perhaps get a little bit closer once again. Stati going wide, right out to the edge of the track, trying to keep Connor Roberts behind him. Roberts this time a little deeper on the brakes. Stati once again goes way wide at the exit of turn 12, but maintains his position. And at the moment, maintaining his points lead. He came into this weekend with a 5.5 point advantage over Daniel Quimby, who's currently running in 5th spot. So Connor Roberts in a position here to close the gap on Daniel Quimby. With 75 points available, there are still 4 drivers in contention for the championship as this weekend wears on. And Alex Popoff, of course, a bit of a spoiler. He can't get all the way to the championship, obviously, since this is his first race meeting. So the drivers behind battling for the scraps. As they come up the hill toward turn number 1, Daniel Quimby has broken away from the 3 cars behind him. But he's kind of in a lonely 5th spot right now. As once again we ride with Connor Roberts through the S's. You can see spectators on the bridge there watching the action on this first of a 4-day weekend here in the season finale at Circuit of the Americas. We're on board with Daniel Quimby, the 5th place runner. Quimby for the Atlantic Racing Team, doing the best he can to make up some ground here on Nicolas Stati. Try to close down and perhaps clinch that championship before the weekend is over. Great line through turn 11. That should give him good exit speed here on the run down the straightaway. And look at that sun in his eyes. This time the field stays line astern in the battle for second spot. Alex Crosbie looking a little racy now as he's trying to put a challenge on Connor Roberts. As they work their way out of turn 13, a little kink at 14 and then into 15, another place where the track widens, inviting a passing maneuver. As Crosbie now right on the gearbox of Connor Roberts. Crosbie currently 4th in the points, still mathematically in the hunt. He's only 6.5 points behind Connor Roberts in the points battle for 3rd. So he'd like nothing more than to put Connor Roberts behind him and see if he can close that gap. As the top 4 onto the front straightaway. It's really the top 5 now, with Daniel Quimby gradually catching up to this group. We ride with our leader, Alex Popoff. Very impressive in his first time in this race car here this weekend, setting the pole. As we ride through the first handful of turns in the S's, again getting gradually tighter as the sequence of turns carries on. Now we ride with Alex Crosbie in 4th spot, climbing the hill to turn 9. Nice line once again for Alex Crosbie. Should give him a good exit here as he's gradually going to take advantage of the draft. Down into turn number 12. Stati has pulled away from Connor Roberts just a little bit, and Roberts may be falling back into the clutches of Alex Crosbie. Daniel Quimby not that far back. As Roberts will be racing in his mirrors perhaps just a bit more, as Stati able to stretch the advantage in front. Into turn 16 they go, then 17, then 18. Full throttle blast down to turn 19. The exhaust note of this Storm V4 motor, the pushrod V4 that has been developed by Ligier, new to the series this year in this brand new race car, and it's been a dandy to watch. But what has been great to watch is this youngster at the front, Alex Popov, following in his father's footsteps. Definitely putting on a show here. We ride with Alex Crosbie down the hill into turn number 2 as he begins his run through the S's. You can hear the exhaust note and see the graphic in the upper left-hand corner indicating just how much these drivers have to get on and off the throttle through this section of the racetrack to keep the car under them. Just a little wiggle there for Crosbie as the car stepped out just a touch and he had to chase it. Over the hill there at turn 10 and then slight uphill into turn 11, which helps with the braking for this most critical turn on the racetrack because it leads on to the longest straightaway. Look at that sun in the eyes of these drivers. They really have to be on their P's and Q's here. Popov controlling the pace at the front. It's Nicolas Stati drawing away from Connor Roberts and Alex Crosbie. Daniel Quimby hoping to get a little closer to this front quartet. As we ride with Connor Roberts through turn 15 and into 16, 17, 18 once again. Back one spot to Alex Crosbie. And back one more to Daniel Quimby. Good lap from Popov. Looks like he stretched his advantage just a little bit as he works his way into turn 1. Just a little brake lock up from Daniel Quimby there right at the top of the hill. Let's listen as he makes his way through the S's. Great to hear how the drivers have to modulate the throttle on their way through the S's. That long sequence of turns, pretty much unrelenting. The closest battle in this lead quintet is the one for third between Connor Roberts and Alex Crosbie. But we watch the battle a little further back as it looks like Seth Gilmore, the debutant, has moved up into 6th spot now. So Lincoln Day and Barrett Wolf going side by side. That's Day coming down to the inside of Barrett Wolf as Gilmore goes just a touch wide. As we ride with Lincoln Day now. Out of turn 15. As we turn our attention back to the lead battle. Alex Popov. No challenge at all here at this stage of the game. As the ebb and flow of this quintet of drivers at the front, now it appears that Alex Crosbie perhaps a little closer to Connor Roberts. And there's the battle between Barrett Wolf and Lincoln Day, as they have gotten back around Seth Gilmore, so Gilmore must have made a mistake at some point because As they exited turn 12, Gilmore was in front of these two, but they've both gotten by him as Gilmore now at the tail end of the 8-car field. So this battle for 6th now between Barrett Wolf and Lincoln Day. Ride with Day as he works his way through turn number 8. Meanwhile, back at the front, Alex Popoff, Nicolas Stati, Connor Roberts with now Alex Crosbie right on his rear wing as we ride with Alex Crosbie, trying to find his way onto the podium if he can. One of 4 drivers in the field from down under. Alex from New Zealand, the other 3 from Australia. Into the setting sun once again. No positions in close contention here at the front of this field, but all it takes is a little mistake for this race to change its complexion. Daniel Quimby at the tail end of this top 5. Just hasn't been able to make much inroads on the cars in front. Hoping to keep his championship hopes alive. Once again, down into turn 11. Nice tidy line. Onto the back straightaway. Popov and Stati appear to be solid at the front. Roberts and Crosbie having the battle for 3rd, with Quimby bringing up the rear of this lead quintet. Crosbie clipping the apex there at turn 13. Now down into 14 and 15, which come in rapid succession. Under yet another of the pedestrian bridges overlooking this racetrack. It's a great place to spectate. I've been fortunate enough to be here on multiple occasions for the Formula One round here at Circuit of the Americas, and it's a great place to watch racing. Closing up on the back of one of the cars from the second wave as we are sharing the track with the Ligier JS F4 drivers who started behind these guys, and our leaders may well be catching up to the back of a couple of those to add a little extra spice and some traffic to the closing stages of this race as we ride with the leader, Alex Popov. Has not been headed, took the lead from the drop of the green flag and has stretched his advantage and controlling the pace from the front. No real challenge for Popov in his debut here with us this weekend. Hard to tell from this angle, but it looks like Quimby might be making up a little bit of a ground on Alex Crosbie. He bends it into turn 11 one more time. There he is the about-to-be lapped car of Ethan Brobston from the JS F4 wave. As Nicolas Stati, again, late on the brakes, goes way wide. Same story for Connor Roberts. As Brobston stays out of the way, seeing the blue flags and letting these leaders come through as we ride with Popoff. And Roberts. As both he and Nicolas Stati left their braking a little bit too late there at turn 12. Blue flags being shown to Brobston, indicating that he's being overtaken, and he, again, just stays on his racing line, which is exactly what he's supposed to do. As both Popoff and Stati have gotten by the lapped car. A little walk up there from Stati, it looks like. As the traffic perhaps playing a factor here, closing this gap up just a little bit. There's Popoff, there's Stati. And the lapped car of Brobston. Then here comes the third place runner, Connor Roberts, as he catches that lapper at not the best possible spot. It's going to compromise his line through the S's just a little bit. Brobston again doing a good job of staying out of the way as best he can. As Roberts clips the apex there at turn 10, heading down toward turn 11 once more. Another lapped car in front of our leaders. That's Zach Foray from the Ligier JS F4 wave, as he is about to be overtaken by our leaders here. Top five have all gotten around the first of the back markers, and now they'll have Foray to contend with as we ride with Daniel Quimby, who's closed up just a little bit on Alex Crosbie, I think, in the battle for fourth. As he'll keep the pressure on. Out of turn 18, down toward turn 19. The sun once again playing a factor here for these drivers. Steeply uphill, 130 feet of vertical in that rise up to the top of the hill at turn 1, and then just as steeply back downhill into the S's. As Zach Foray staying out of the way as the leaders come through. Third place runner Connor Roberts. This second generation Ligier JS F4 22 at this racetrack about 4 seconds a lap quicker than the first generation F4 car that it replaces. So Foray shouldn't have too much to worry about as these cars work their way by him. Fourth place runner Alex Crosbie through the stadium section, down into turn 15 once again. White flag in the air as our leader comes by, indicating one more lap to go. We ride with Alex Popov as he sets off on his final lap of this 3.4-mile, 20-turn racetrack that is the Circuit of the Americas, to notch his first win on the first time of offing. There's Popov once again as we ride on board. Turn 7 and 8. Down into the hairpin for the final time at speed. Popov blasting down the back straightaway. Out of turn 12. Into 13, into shadow here as the grandstand's blocking the sun. Turn 15, under the bridge into 16, 17, 18 for the final time. Alex Popov with the pole, setting a new lap record in the process. Never headed in this race. One more turn to go for Alex Popov to notch his first win in F4 US competition. And there are the checkered flag. As he takes the honors, Nicolas Stati maintains his point lead with a second-place finish. Connor Roberts with a fine podium finish. Alex Crosbie in fourth. Daniel Quimby second in the points. Losing a little ground to Nicolas Stati on this race, but there's two more to go this weekend. Lapped car of Zach Forey. Other lapped car of Ethan Brobston, just in front of Barrett Wolf and Lincoln Day. Down into victory circle as our Ben Sissel is there to interview our winner.
Alex, first time in the series and a win in an amazing race. How does it feel?
No, it's incredible. I mean, we've been fighting all year to get a proper ride, and finally came to fruition here with MLT at COTA, and it's just incredible to sweep the day, P1 on quali, and to take the race win is just awesome.
It's an extra special to be at Circuit of the Americas win.
Yeah, I think it's for sure, especially after F1 was here just a week ago, and my dad used to race here, and he won here, I think, around 2014, so it's so cool to, be able to come back and win it myself.